Mogwai are a Scottish band from Glasgow. They were formed in 1995 and are still going. In those nearly 30 years, they have had only two ex-members, which is quite impressive, and they have released 10 studio albums. Hi, my name's Dan, and this is a review of the album Come On Die Young by Mogwai. It was their second album. It was released in 1999, and this has been my first time listening to it. So this is labelled as post-rock. Um, I'm going to claim that a better description might be non-electronic ambient. So possibly even slowcore and or shoegaze, but I suspect it doesn't meet some particular requirements. I think slowcore would be a nice name for it if it doesn't mean something completely different to this. I don't think it does, but I'm not hugely confident about this, as you can tell. The post-rock label probably comes from the use of non-rock instruments, so that I feel like is one of the most distinctive elements of post-rock is the tendency to use things like violins and cellos and I don't know, oboes and stuff like that that give you long continuous notes and are classical instrumentation. So while there are a few tracks that are different to what I'm about to describe, mostly this is instrumental and it's based on drums and clean electric guitar, although sometimes we have distorted, and bass, and it's spacious, slow, and empty. So, for example, Helps Both Ways has some orchestral instruments and it has sports commentary as background thing, but it's like this. And there are most of the other tracks are like this, but maybe have another something going on. It has some elements of space rock at times, but the thing that it has, space rock is a term that could be used because it's spacey, but most space rock, to my mind, has this kind of has a rolling on driving feeling, and this doesn't have that at all. So this could have so easily been dull or irritating or just lacking in attention grabbing that it didn't work for me. I've had a few reviews recently where I've talked about things like this, and we've had kind of post-hardcore, we've had post-rock, we've had Sigur Rós, we've had Sunny Day Real Estate, we've had uh, yeah, a whole list of these people. Let me just pull up my list and mention some of these. Box, or the band that I won't name, that Beach House, and they're all kind of variations within the same theme, somewhat, but there's something different about this, and I liked it, and I think I have nailed why. I think it's in the playing of it. So it has an ebb and flow. It leans back so that the music is given the right amount of space. It is slow, it feels mellow and measured. And for me, it pushes past the awkwardness of that. So it can, things that feel too slow can feel awkward. And this kind of does, but it kind of goes beyond that into a good thing and inhabits it a bit like somebody inhabiting a baggy tracksuit. It's just, it's there inside this big space. It's a very band feel, so you can hear them and feel them responding to each other. Having said all that, I've said the drummer actually gets quite busy at times, and at least one commentator said that it's drummer based, which I kind of see what they're saying. I'm not sure I would agree that it's really that the drums are the thing here, but there is quite a bit going on. There's often subtle micro changes to tempo, and that even happens during a bar. So and a bar could be, like a fair amount of time. But there was one, I can't remember which track I was listening to, where it kind of goes, you got a couple of beats, and then it's almost delayed the next, and then the next couple are kind of sped up, and the spaces are just a bit fluid between things. This is really nicely played, I would say, and it plays nicely with the space that they've created. And then within that, there's just enough, or at least enough bits of subtle ornamentation to make it work. It works well as background music. It works well as dozing music. It's quite sleepy music. Works well as dark room getting lost in the music. And so I had various different modes that I was in when I was listening to this at different points. And it works well. And I've said this before, slow is not, it's not easy to do slow well. And I think they've done slow really well on this album. There is one track that is a song, which is Cody, and the book ends punk rock and a few other things, which is a kind of callback to the first one. Are a bit more unusual than the rest of them. They frame the album well, but they're less interesting to me, in my opinion, because they don't do the kind of, they don't strip everything back and then rely on this way of playing. I think works really well. So I really liked it. It got through to me in a way that many other people playing effectively the same stuff wouldn't have, I think. So I'm going to give them kudos for that. Yeah, well done, guys. Um, but yeah, at this point, I always do this. I'd love to know what you think of the album. So please let me know that by sharing a comment with me. But that's it from me for now.